Ready, 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 ready. All right, on part two, we're gonna learn how to implement this really fast. It's so easy, you will see. You will be surprised how easy this is to get something very nice. So first thing first, I just wanna show you kind of what the tables I'm using. And I think the best view is the diagram view or the model view, is to kind of like say, in case you do implement this on a real model, just think of the year tables as your calendar table because that will define if you want to see the band chart on days, weeks, month, periods, years. You decide which one you want to choose. And then the other one is very important because the formulas are going to be based on what column you want to choose on the dimension tables of maybe products, maybe cities, maybe customers. And you decide that with the measures that I'm going to show you in a minute. And then they have to be connected to the fact table, one to many. And the fact table will have all your data that you want to kind of show off or plot. And then, another column here, just DAX. It's my approach on how to separate all the DAX measures to be in one place. All right, so we go now to the report view and we're gonna open a black canvas here and I'm just gonna call it example. So basically now I just call the line chart right here. Not gonna call no filters, not at this moment. And basically now I have to plot, well, basically we do have to see the measures that we're gonna be building. So I'm gonna go click on the first one, which is total salaries. And here, I want you to see that I'm actually just doing a sum of the fact table salary data. Well, sorry that I call it fact, but I'm trying to kind of, so you can take this to a real model. I'm just doing a basic sum of salary columns, but I'm dividing it by millions so I can get a more readable number. Else it's just gonna be a big lengthy number. And in this sense, I just want something that if it's 36.3, I know it's 36 millions and 300,000 approximately. Okay, that's why I'm adding that addition on line 3 right there on the DAX formula. Now, the other measure, number 2, and I'm not writing this from scratch because then it will make the video longer and I want you to understand more the implementation and then you can take the time to, if you don't understand part of the formula, just go ahead and take more of your time. Here on selected team, I'm actually doing, okay, that's gonna be based on the filters that we can probably maybe go and add right here. Maybe we can go and add a filter here. And sorry that I'm getting a little bit sidetracked. From that, we do have to put it from the teams table. Okay, we put that there and we get all these teams. Maybe we can make them a little bit bigger. So maybe size 10. Okay, perfect. And make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so now we go to that formula right there. And that formula pretty much is saying, hey, look, the selected team variable is depending on what the user selects on this slicer, okay? And that's what's gonna go into the selected value, right? But then if this is filter, okay, or if the user has selected something here, then proceed to calculate the total sum of that team that the user has selected. And that's why with the calculate, we override the context or the evaluation context, okay? That's pretty much what we're doing on 2 on selected team. Now, if we go ahead and plot it on this line chart and go in years column, we put year onto this real quick and then put selected team on the y-axis. Yep. I think we don't see nothing, but if I do click on Arizona and Diamondbacks, I see my lines within that context, okay? And if I maybe go in New York Yankees, which is the best team. No, I'm just kidding. Probably the Rexas fans are gonna hate me with this. Now we can see how the salary went up, really went up starting from 1990 all the way there, and it kind of has stayed, around 200 million after maybe 2005, and it kind of goes up and down, but has stayed right there. You can see it. All right. Now the next measure is very important. The next one is pretty much, if you understand this one, you will understand number 4 and number 5, which is a maximum and the minimum. Or actually, number 5 is the maximum, number 4 is the minimum, and now the average. Now, what is this telling us? This is telling us, again, if the team table is filtered, or meaning like if the slicer has been selected, if the user has selected something here, okay, and which we have New York Yankees, then, and this is what part I'm pointing out to, right here, okay, oh, sorry, I did it the other way, this one, okay. If is this being filtered or if the user has selected something on this slicer, then proceed with the following, which is all this part right here, okay. This is just my approach of writing DAX formula. It's my style, so sorry if you don't like it. Now, I'm telling it right here that do an average X for the first part of the calculate argument to do an average of the teams, okay, of the salaries. That's why the average, actually, I'm using that iterator on this part. But then the calculate is to override that. So, or to override that average of the filter or not filter the evaluation context of teams. So I want that line to stay fixed, okay? I want that line to not move, okay? I just want it to stay fixed. That's very important. That's why we're using remove filters at this point. If nothing is being filtered here, then proceed with this part right here, with the if else, or if false part of the if, then do the average. No need to remove filters because the average is gonna stay the same there. Okay, that's pretty much it. And this is the same logic for the min-x and the sorry for that, and the max-s. So if you go and click minimum right here, you will see same logic, min-x here, same logic. We just change the function. And if we go and do the maximum, we also have the same thing right here, max-x. Perfect, okay? Now the range right here, I just added a range here, number 6, and it's only because I wanted to add that to be, or I wanted that to be displayed on the, let's just add ed, sorry for that, to be displayed on the tooltip, okay? So that's it, it's kind of like to just tell the spread. And then the selected team, this last measure right here is just for the legend of the chart on the example that I show. Basically, it's just saying this, kind of like similar to the first measure, but where we are actually plotting that blue line. But in this case, it's just mostly for the labels, just to select what team has the user selected on this slicer right here, on these ones that I'm pointing out with my mouse. Okay, that's pretty much it. And then if none not selected, then do this label. That's pretty much what the if is. Okay, so and then just in case, where do you see that on the example that it was done is right here on this kind of like maybe I cannot click on it because on the selection the way it's organized, maybe I can do it right here and I can go and click legend, so you can see it's right there. And then the legend is composed of many different items. In this case, I have maybe the button in order to introduce that DAX formula into that, and that's why you're seeing the non-selected there. Okay, we'll see this in the implementation. I'm not gonna take too much time on the legend because it takes time to align and all that, but I will tell you where to put that DAX measure in a little bit. So now go back to the example, and now this is the tricky and this is the best part right here, because now you will learn how to put the charts really fast. Now I'm gonna go and throw average underneath here, okay? And I do get that line. Now, how do I get the band? The band, you need to go to this section right here, the analytics section, I think it is. I'm not sure what's the name for that icon. And then you go to arrow bars, you open that, and you go and click series, average, and then you do enable. But before doing that, just put your measures on minimum, on lower, and maximum on upper. Once you do that, then activate, and you will see that you get the arrow bars, which is good. But I don't like it. I actually want to turn it off and actually activate arrow bars. And there you go. But you open arrow bands and you tell it not to match the series color, okay? You take that out and actually maybe select something of a light gray, and then there you go. So it's not invasive, okay? Right, but now we have to go back to the format of the line. Pretty much we're done. We already have the band chart, but now it comes the aesthetics. The good, also a good portion of time to be invested, so the chart can look very accessible. So now here on the apply settings, we just tell it average, and then the colors. I want it to be, I say on the other example, I think it was a red. Yep, a red. And I want the selected team. I switch that to here and select this to be black. And there you go. Now you can see that pretty much you have your implementation already. You can see the band chart. Now, the good thing about this, like, we don't want the legends. Oh, no, 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 no. We don't want this. No, 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 no. We actually want to go on this option and activate series labels, that one that you're seeing here. So we activate that, and we can go now color them too according to the color of the lines. So for that, you go here, and I think you have to go in series values, select the team. You select a series color to be black, and then bold it, make it bigger. Maybe make it, I think 8, but maybe we can make this a little bit bigger. Don't worry about that. In a minute, I'll show you how to fix it. And then average, we want to make it a little bit bigger too, and make it bold, and make it red. So a couple of tweakings here that you have to do. But if we go back to the place where we put the measures here, now we can just rewrite this and do select a team, and then do average. There we go. So these are more approachable. Okay. Now I think we take out the legend. We do take out the legend. We deactivate that. No, no, no. And then I think when we go back to series values, I think right here we have to do a bit of, let me do 10. Yes, you have to increase this maximum width so you can have space for the label to be shown completely, pretty much. And I think we can now make him, a little bit bigger. So maybe we can go how, and why it's not being applied? Maybe select the team and increase it to number 10. Okay. And then go to the average. So it's legible enough for the user. Okay. This is what I'm referring to. And I think that's it. Now, when you go to all, maybe you can increase this width a little bit more. And that's it. You already have your average and your selected them applying direct labeling. Okay, none of that legend. No, do that. Okay, so you're pretty much done. I mean, up to this point, I think the size of selected team is a bit bigger, so maybe we can just decrease it a little bit, or maybe we can increase it a little bit more. Okay, perfect. What else do you need? Well, once we go to the tooltip, look at that. We get the selected team, which we know is Detroit Tigers. We got the upper, the average, and the lower. Good, but we need something that can say the range or the spread. So for that, I created the number 6, and we're gonna put it on tooltip. So maybe we wanna decrease this a little bit and move it here to tooltip. And for this, we can call it range or spread, whichever you wanna use. And now we can see the spread right there. The formatting of the fonts on my example was Arial, but you can stay with the one that you like. In this case, the one that you prefer to. What else? The other thing here that I just noticed is that actually, and I didn't tweak it on the other example, is the thing about the years here. I'm actually using, I'm not using continuous. I'm pretty sure I'm using, on the axis, I'm using categorical. So now that I'm seeing these, the example, you can play around with both if you're comfortable using this. I kind of like it, to be honest, with the axis being that clean, 1995, and then then jumping into 1990, then jumping to 95, then jumping to 2000. I like it, that space in between. It looks cleaner, but just in case if you did want it like my example, this is what you got to tweak. You have to go here, open x-axis, then go and click categorical. Once you do that, you might get this distorted. I don't know why Power BI does it, but maybe to fix it, just go to sort axis, tell it by year, and then tell it that I want it to be ascending. Once you do that, there you go. You're back to it, and you have it, all the years being plotted. I kind of like it the other way that we just saw, but okay, you have the option to choose between those two. All right, perfect. What else do we need? The other thing is that we need pretty much is the legend, and this takes a bit of time, but I'm gonna show you that what I did pretty much just to utilize, or whatever team is being selected is being shown here, is because if you go back to that example, I'm being a little bit redundant, but on purpose, because I'm actually telling, if you're already showing me the label of this line here, why are you putting it again? Because sometimes being an extra redundant can be good for the user to understand the chart more or making the chart more accessible for him to understand it. So that's why you're seeing salaries here again on red. The selected team also on black. If I click Cleveland Indians, we see it there. But then what I didn't have or anywhere on the other example was what is the band, the gray bands mean? Like if you don't tell it, they're not gonna understand. So that's why on my legend here, I wanted to use a shape, and I can go and click selection and do legend. I just did a shape right there of a band like that. So I can tell the user, hey, look, the way to understand this chart is that this line, the black line is selected team, the red chart is the average, and what you're seeing on the gray background area is actually the band, the min, the max. And that's why pretty much this is very important. Now to implement now the label, this is all like, if we look at it, it's all text boxes. So it's very simple to implement. You can do it on your own. But the one on the button, how do we implement that? If we go to the example here, and let's close this and just make this a little bit not so wide. You can go insert, click here, and do button. Where is button? Okay, actually you select blank shape, and it's actually a button right there, but it allows you to input a measure. That's why I'm using it. And you make it that big, maybe you can put it here, and then you go to style, and then you activate text. Then on text, you see that little FX. I wish that FX could be anywhere in Power BI because it's just awesome, but it's not. So, well, I know Power BI developer team is getting there, but I wanted to emphasize that. So right there, you can see. Now here's just aesthetics. We can make it bold. We can make it bigger. We can make it horizontal align. We can take out the border, and you can see there, is how you implement it. Okay, then you fix the color to be bold black, and if you notice, I'm using black for that because the color of this slicers is in black, and I cannot change the color of that, not that I know of, on just for that to be color, because you can change the color, but it will change the color also of the items, which I don't want. So that's why I'm using black, because it's the default and only color possible in Power BI. So pretty much I'm telling Power BI, hey, look, black, and then this should be black too, but it's not, sorry. And then the line is also black. So in data graphics, we use this so people can connect everything and being consistent for the people to understand the chart better, okay? All right, so what else is done? Here you add the title, and pretty much you're done. With this, you already have a band chart implemented. I think it's about 17 minutes, and I'm so sorry, but I think I wanted to be straightforward just to see that on the other example, pretty much that's it. I mean, you have everything that you need. And if you deactivate your slicer, the line disappear. Same way here, you deactivate, the black line disappear. And this is nice because everything stays fixed, because that's what we told on the measures right here, okay? Actually, everything stays fixed if a team is selected, and that's why we use the remove filter. So sorry about that. Else, just proceed with the average X on this. And that's it. Now, on the upcoming video, in part 3 and the last part, I'm gonna show you, okay, how do we take it from being, instead of the user being selecting each individual, and maybe we wanna see a graphical landscape of all of them at the same time, then the approach or the technique is called small multiples, and that's what you're seeing here on this one. And I will tell you what you have to do, which is pretty obvious, but I'll tell you what you have to kind of like tweak in order to land it in this way. So see you on the next part.